Okay, here we go with NES Open Tournament Golf Rainbow Star Replays for NES Remix 2 on the Wii U. Stage 1, 9.6 seconds. So this is just getting you used to the controls for the golf game. This title unlocks after you've finished everything else in NES Remix 2, including all the remix and bonus stages. You have to 3-star everything. And, in terms of a unlockable game, it's not very exciting, and there's a lot of complaints that I've seen on the Miiverse about this being the reward for finishing everything in the game. But the way I see it, I think it's kind of fun. This was a ambassador game for the 3DS a few years ago, so players might be pretty familiar with this game already. I didn't play it back when the NES was, still out there, and the Genesis was still, relatively new. This is a late-gen game. I believe it came out in 92 or 93, around the same time as Kirby's Adventure. So, actually, the Genesis had been out for about 3+ years already. So, getting 8-bit games like this for the NES at that point, made that system quite the value, and it lasted a really long time, having come out in the mid-80s. But anyway, like I was saying, this game is fun. It's just a relaxing way to kind of wrap up the entire NES Remix 2 experience. It's after, I guess, all the intense hand-eye coordination challenges previously in the game. This is a nice, semi-relaxing way to finish everything out. So here we go at Stage 3, 10.9 seconds. I believe this one's just a lot of putting. Yeah, so you have to sink your shots in 2 shots or less. You can do all of these in 1 shot. Just pay attention to the lies. And this one you can hit it in 1 putt. Just full power shot straight ahead, and it'll just creep in there. I like that the camera zooms in. The other thing I like about this game compared to Golf from NES Remix 1 is the graphics for when you're actually hitting the ball. In the first game, you had an overhead look of the course, but your golfer was off on the left side, and it didn't really feel all that cohesive. Whereas this one, when you go for your shot, the surroundings are pretty accurate to what to where you're actually standing in each hole. So I like that. It's a great detail, and for being in the early 90s when golf games were still developing and not very realistic, I think this would have been fairly impressive at the time. So Stage 5, 12.5 seconds. More putting. Just have to make slight adjustments based on the lie of the green. And all these, you can, with a little experimentation. Actually, the second shot, I don't think you even need to adjust, so it's kind of a trick. And this one, you just kind of go to the left a little bit and experiment with your shot power, and you'll eventually get it. I believe for that one you get 6 lives, so it's not too hard. All right, Stage 6, 39.2 seconds. Yeah, for this one, you just have to hit the green in 1 stroke. Pay attention to the wind here. It can affect the ball pretty significantly, but this one isn't too hard. The trick, and I don't do a very good job of it here, is to hit the front edge of the green so that the ball doesn't roll around too long, especially if you're going for low times. Getting the bounce in front of the green will save you quite a number of seconds. But since this is the very end of NES Remix 2, I just wanted the Rainbow Stars and move on. I wrote the review for this game yesterday, and I've spent close to 45 hours playing it, probably more. And this is funny. I hit the green, but I go off it, but it still gives me credit for it. Fine by me. Stage 7, 1 minute 27 seconds. This one you are basically just playing against Luigi. But as I was saying, I put a lot of time into this game. So at this point, I just wanted to get through it, get my Rainbow Stars, and move on to the next game, which will probably be New Super Luigi U, which I've heard is really good, especially if you like speedrunning through levels. And these NES Remix games have certainly made me a fan of that style of gameplay. So here, playing against Luigi, kind of just gotta wait for him to do a shot. He's further out than me right now, so he'll go again. And actually get a very a decent shot right here. He'll be pretty close to the pin. Chips it on. The light takes it over to the right a little bit. Yeah, so he's in really good position right there. My shot looks pretty straightforward, but I make a really boneheaded mistake. Hook it really bad, I believe. Let's see what my shot looks like. Oh yeah, it's like I wasn't even looking. Managed to stay on the green, but talk about a terrible place for the putt. But I left this replay in because I'm pretty happy with that putt right there. And so Luigi, he can tie it up right here, but he chokes, misses, and so I win. Yeah, these little animations are pretty cool. Alright, and stage 8. Kevin says, again, why Nintendo? Yeah, it's a hole-in-one attempt. And this was very similar to the one in NES Remix 1. So you just got to experiment. As long as you get your shot perfectly straight and mess with the shot power, it will go in. And so this one only took me a couple minutes. About 5 tries, and it finally went in. So, not too bad. Alright, so that's it for NES Open. Now, moving back to the bonus stages. After you beat Golf, you unlock the 21st bonus stage, which is a nice little surprise. This one, I only played through once. And it's, collect 100 coins and get to the end. So... actually, I played it twice because that power block right there, or the P-switch, is something different from the normal Super Mario Bros. 3 game. And so it unlocks all these blue coins, and just kind of a nice little gesture from the developer. It says thank you, and collect those coins. Move on a little bit, and here's more. Get your 100, and then go ahead to the end. Just don't fall. I believe I fell the first time. Set your item block, move on. Probably not the best time. And this one right here, stage 22, is a bit of a throwaway. Everyone will get the exact same time on this one, 3 minutes, 26.1 seconds. And you just have to watch the endings to these 3 games. So the first one is Super Mario Bros. 2, and then you get Dr. Mario, and finally... Super Mario Bros. 3. And so this last 3 minutes, so I might as well kind of sum up my thoughts for this game. If you read my review, you'll see that I did give it an A overall. I really liked it. I gave NES Remix 1 a B+. It's an excellent game, but NES Remix 2 just does a number of things much better. And I think the game selection is more of a higher quality, and since they're newer, I think with that comes better controls, more refined gameplay, more variety of gameplay, and the Miiverse integration is so much better. Just the fact that you can watch other people's replays, especially when you're chasing low times to see what other players have done. And it's not cheating, because just seeing what they do and then actually trying to duplicate it and improve upon it, it's highly rewarding. And I think that's why I spent so much more time with NES Remix 2 than the first game. It also has a couple other modes. Super Luigi Brothers is, a cool reimagining of the original Super Mario Brothers. You run from right to left, and Luigi's physics are different, so the game feels pretty new, even though most of it will be familiar to most players. And after you beat that game, you'll get a stamp. I have 98 out of the 100 stamps right now, so after you beat that mode, you'll get a stamp. And then Championship mode, which is only available if you have both NES Remix 1 and 2. It's based on the 1990 Nintendo World Championships, which was a pretty big deal back in the day. And I think those cartridges are floating around on eBay for pretty high prices. But anyway, it's a remix of that, so you have to get through 3 stages, including Super Mario Bros. 1, Super Mario Bros. 3, and Dr. Mario. So the faster you get through the first 2 stages, you're left to basically use the rest of the time to get through Dr. Luigi, and that's where you can rack up all your points. And so if you get over 1 million points in that mode, you'll get your 100th stamp, and I have yet to do it. I think I have about 980,000, and so I think today I'll try to get that 1 million and get my stamp for that game, and see how I do and rank against other players on Miiverse. So yeah, all in all, NES Remix 2 is a great game. $15. If you're used to paying your standard 99 cents to maybe $3 for mobile games, $15 seems pretty steep, but for the amount of gameplay in here and the variety and the quality overall, I think it's a tremendous bargain, and it's certainly one of the best games on the Wii U eShop. Probably my favorite one so far. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments.